Hi, and welcome to Dramatic Knits. My name is Steve, also known as Dramatic Knits.
And I'm Callie, also known as Calsters.
And today is
October 10th, 2015, or 10-10-15.
And this is episode 227. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back one more week. And if you're new, just warning you, we're going to be a little punchy tonight. This usually happens when we end up recording in the evening. We usually have long days, hence why we have to record in the evening, and then we're a little punchy. So.
Indeed.
Grab a drink of choice and sit back and enjoy the podcast with us, because who knows where it's going to go tonight. But it's been a fairly busy Saturday for Callie, so and I am going to have a fairly busy Sunday, so this was the only time we could record. But we wanted to make sure that we were able to record together, since we weren't able to do so last week. So hopefully you'll enjoy the punch. And if not, we'll see you next week. So I would say a quick week in review, but it's been relatively eventful for myself. I did teach all week. Last weekend, Leading Men Fiber Arts attended at Vogue Knitting Live in Chicago. I'll keep that talk towards the end in the shop section, but that was a good time. And then went right back into work on Monday, taught all week. It was a long week, but you know, it is what it is. I ended up having 2 dentist appointments this week, Tuesday and Thursday. I had to get deep cleanings done. I was very worried about it. I do not like the dentist. I do not like pain, but it was not that bad. So that has been done, and I've got to get 2 little tiny fillings done on Monday. I'm more worried about getting the shot of Novocaine on Monday than anything. Also, I have this really probably irrational fear of getting my tongue drilled while they're doing it. You know what I mean? I'm always like, what's my tongue doing? I don't know. I freak out. Anyway, enough about the dentist. I'm very excited that I'm finally getting stuff done. It's been way too long. So I told Callie that, you know, I mentioned a while ago that Andy and I made some significant life changes. And I'll tell you guys, we both quit smoking. We had been full-time smokers for many, many years. And so Tuesday actually is going to be 2 months smoke-free, and we're really excited about that. So, you know, due to that change, I was like, I really need to take care of my teeth now. I need to get them into good shape. And one of the final things I'm getting done to my teeth, I'm actually getting in-office bleaching done. So something I've considered for a while, and I figured, well, when in Rome, if I'm going to be in the office, I might as well, you know, make sure that I get them nice and pearly white and keep them that way. So I'm glad that that was relatively pain-free for all of that that work I had done this week. And what else? We are having a big truck go down our street. We are going to be vending at Stash Market in Yorkville, Illinois, which is just outside of Aurora, Illinois. We'll be there tomorrow. So Andy's actually packing up the truck as we were recording. He did a little bit, and he's going to be finishing up while we're recording. So it'll be exciting to get up at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and so we can leave at 5:30. And, you know, I've got a big glass of iced coffee at 7 o'clock at night. I'm going to really be loving life.
That?
Yeah, probably. But, yeah, so I think that's pretty much my week. I don't think there was anything. Well, there was one other thing. There was a corn dog incident. Corn dog got a hot spot. And if you don't know what that is, that's basically a spot on their body where they really become itchy. And once they focus on that spot, they focus on it. And so I came home from the dentist on Thursday night, and I was like, what is that? And there's a nice size part on his rump and part of his tail that he has licked all the hair off of. So we got to, Andy actually came home from work on Friday, picked up the dogs, drove back out to where we work to take them to the vet, and I met them, and we got everything taken care of. He took a look at it, you know, shaved a little around it, and we got him on some meds and things like that. And they both got cortisone shots to help with the itching to release that. So I think we're good there. So that was another point of excitement. But yeah, excited for the dogs. Now that my mom lives closer to town, she can watch the dogs while we're doing all these shows. So she was in and out of the house all last weekend, and she ended up cleaning a lot of the house. I'm going to take that and go with that. So we'll see what she does tomorrow. But like she said, she's over here for 2, 4, 5 hours, and she's like, I get bored, so I get up and clean. Like, more than welcome to do so, because we don't have time to clean anymore. It's all business all the time. So.
Go, go, go.
The other nice thing is my leading man, Andy, started his new position, so he's had nights off. This is our first week where we've had the same schedule. And in fact, we planned out all of next week's meals. We're starting to plan meals and grocery shop for them so that we don't eat out as much. We'll see. That doesn't mean we're on diets or anything. It doesn't mean I'm going to be losing weight. And this may last only 1 week. But yeah, we had a minor scare with our sink today. I don't know what part you call it, but the part under their sink part.
P-trap drain.
The P-trap drain became disconnected, and it happened last week on one side, and he thought he fixed it, and then the other side came down, and he fixed it. He was very proud of himself, so he wanted me to make sure that I told everybody on the show that he took care of plumbing on his own. So
I'm very proud of him.
He was proud of himself. Lord knows it wasn't going to happen by me. I just hire somebody for that. So anyway, how was your 2 weeks? Because it's been 2 weeks, hasn't it?
It has. So my past 2 weeks have been extremely packed. So the first week that I missed, I am not going to try to lie here. I chaperoned a girls' science sleepover for 40 young ladies, and that was Friday night and Saturday, and I was completely drained because there was an incident, and I was not in favor of how the outcome ended up. I'm going to leave it at that. It was not my decision, and it was not the person above me, but it was the person in charge of the whole thing. And I feel that she did not follow protocol, and I was extremely upset about that, and I still don't have an answer as to why protocol was broken, especially when violence was involved. So I'm going to leave it at that, because I'm not allowed to speak any more of that. And I was extremely tired because I was upset. I had just gotten off of pulling 24 hours at work and then being up for another 24 hours for the chaperoning part of it. So when 9 o'clock came around, I believe that's the time we said we were going to record, I set my alarm and everything, and I missed it. And I got
up on my day off.
Yep. Nope. So I am sorry that I let you guys down on that, and I'm sorry, Steve.
I didn't get an apology. I was a little perturbed that day. Andy's like, I would have been, and I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I know you got a lot going on.
Well, and I didn't tell you what the situation was.
No.
Either. So, and then this past weekend was my mom's 60th birthday. And so she's okay with me telling that age.
I'm 60.
So we went down to the Lake of the Ozarks, but we took a detour because a year or so ago I went to Kansas City. It was a year ago in May, and I visited Marceline, which is Walt Disney's hometown in Missouri. And I was like, Mom, you have to go. So they are closing at the end of the month. So we decided to take a detour before we went to the Lake of the Ozarks. And I don't think I've seen my mom so happy. She really enjoyed the museum. And one of the things that I didn't get to do when I first visited was Walt, when he came back to the dedication for the elementary school in Marceline. It's the Walt Disney Elementary School. It's the only school that's named after Walt while he was still alive. He had the original 9 Men, the artists behind many original Disney movies, come in and do murals. Now, when school's in session, you can't go in and look at those murals. And it just so happened that we pulled up at the back entrance of the school. It wasn't really totally well marked for town people. And there was a teacher who was working there late, and she let my mom and I in. So we got to actually see the murals that really nobody gets to see because of, security, post 9/11, and school shootings reasons. It makes a lot of sense why they closed that part off. But it was thoroughly enjoyable to see all of that artwork, see the dedication, and it was really awesome. And I think it just goes to show that, that teacher didn't have to let us in, and I hope that she didn't get in trouble for it, because I think, she showed us her classroom, and it was really cool. I was thoroughly awestruck, and also it was cool to talk to the janitor who knows the little nooks and crannies of the school that nobody gets to see. My uncle's a janitor, so I have high respect for all of the custodians that are out there, and so it was kind of cool to get his perspective as well. So from there, we went down to the lake, and it was a good vacation. It was nice and relaxing. The weather was awesome, because I don't know if you guys know this about me, and you should if you're a longtime viewer. I get hot really easily. I'm hot 24/7. It was so cool. I did not wear a jacket most of the weekend, and it was in the lower 60s, so wonderful. We ended up driving back Monday, and I hate to say this, but I missed our staff meeting, which I was not. It's so boring anyways. And then I missed training for something that was going on at campus. But because I'm a part of this leadership program, I kind of feel like I already know what's going on, because I'm taking a high level version of the training, so I didn't feel like I missed too much. And then this week was pretty non-eventful. I'm just trying to keep my head down and do as much work as I can, because there's a lot of projects that I'm responsible for that are coming up into fruition. So that, and I had my leadership class today. I've been up since 4:30, so getting ready for that. And it was a great class. Our themes for today were crucial conversations, how to have them, when to have them, how to keep your mind open for that. And I learned a lot from that. The afternoon class was on how to adjust change, which I think is something that I needed to hear today, especially with things that are going on at work and things that are going on in my personal life. So I am extremely grateful for the opportunity to take this leadership class. It was also the day that I shared my inspirational story, or kind of our testimonial. And it was really hard for me because I had about 3 different ways that I wanted to go. And I'm in real life, a pretty private person, in the sense of I don't share a whole lot about my life, because, well, I just don't. There's a lot of really, dark places in it, with different obstacles and events in my life. So I don't tell it to you unless I'm really close to you, and that's going to take some time anyways, to build that trust level. And to have to share that today was extremely nerve-wracking, and also a real big blessing, because I'm in a class with 23 other people, and to have them say that they have my back no matter what it was more than I could have asked for, and honestly the greatest gift that I've been given through this program so far. Sorry. But yeah, so I'm really grateful for this opportunity, because it's taken my mind off of a lot of other things, but also trying to be a better person, both in my official role at work and in a personal relationship, goals. So I think it's the best thing that I've done. So.
Okay. I'm glad you're getting so much out of it. That's what's important, right? It's not just a professional growth, but that you get something else out of it. Because Lord knows there's been enough professional development that I've been through that I would rather probably put a hot poker through my eye, but it's giving me hours, it's professional development, whatever. But when it can when it can mean a lot on a personal level, you're
Yeah.
getting twice as much, if not more, out of it. So
Yeah.
it's good. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that. All right. Shall we get into the knitting?
I think we shall.
I think we should transition into the knitting. So, finished objects. What's taking about? I actually have a finished object. That's a really good look on your face, by the way.
Sorry, I dropped a stitch and I was like, oh, pickles.
Pickles. Write that down. Show title. So, I don't have my finished object to show you. I finished the Rushed Laziness Boomerang at Vogue last weekend, and I actually hung it up in the booth on Sunday as a shop sample. Well, then it got packed with all the shop samples, and I forgot to take it out to block it this week. I kept meaning to, and then I forgot to take it out to even to show it today. So it's actually in the trailer with all of the shop samples still. So I will show that to you next week when we get back and unpack tomorrow. I will make sure to take it out, and I actually. I wanted to show it to you pre-blocked, but you've kind of seen it pre-blocked, so we'll see. I'll probably block it still next week. And that was I knit that out of one of our improv sock blanks, which is the same base as our showstopper base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it was in a colorway called Rushed Laziness, but all of our improv sock blanks are one of a kind, so it couldn't be repeated anyway. And I knit that on a size 6, my normal boomerang needles, size needles. So that's all I finished. Do you have anything, my dear?
I do not have finished. I won't for a while.
Okay.
Like a while.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. I know I got a new garbage can a couple weeks ago, and I didn't realize I set my feet on that so much because it had a lid. And I would lean back and put my foot on it, and Callie would do it when we record. And now this new one has no lid, and it is changing my life for the worse. Let me just not lie.
Well, I accidentally almost knocked it over, and I was like, oh, man. It's going to be another pom-pom episode.
All right. Let's get to the knitting, shall we? The first thing I had on the needles is Portage by Melissa Shishwari. I'm using Elizabeth LeBold Silky Wool in color number 65, which is spruce. And size, I'm just on a size 7 right now, which is 4.5 millimeters. It calls for smaller sizes, but I'm not there yet. So, and again, guys, I don't get much time to craft. I know has it been 2 weeks? It's been 2 weeks, because I didn't record last week because of Vogue, and then so it's been 3 weeks for you. Anyway, this is all I got done in the 2 weeks from the Dicky Doo down, but it's still good progress. This pattern stitch takes forever. It just slows me down so much. And you can see there's kind of a honeycomb-ish pattern stitch.
I like this stitch, but I definitely have done a project with something similar to it, and I remember going, when will it ever end?
And it's just one stitch crossing over opposite ways, and you don't use a cable needle, but it just takes forever.
It was a sock pattern. I only have one sock done. That's probably why I stopped knitting socks.
So it's getting there. I have another 14 rows or whatever to another pattern repeat, and then that's the last of the increases, and then it's straight out per a certain number of inches. I really hope I'm close to those number of inches by the time it's done. I don't know. I think the rest of the sweater will zoom for me just because I don't have to do that pattern stitch. But alright. Put stuff on the floor because I have too much stuff over here. Second up is Polyphony by Sarah Berghart Abram, and I'm knitting that out of Leading Men Fiber Arts Show Stealer in the Copper Cloud, Midnight Rendezvous, and Eternal Kiss colorways. I'm still on Copper Cloud. And I do want to wish Sarah a very warm wishes in her new home. Her and her husband just closed on their first home. So congratulations to the two of them.
That's
exciting.
exciting.
I meant to bring the iPad up to show she released a new pattern with us at Vogue. And I actually have the original in our shop samples. But I forgot to bring the iPad up, so anyway. So here's Polyphony. And not a whole lot of work done on it in 2 weeks. Again, I get maybe a half hour's worth of knitting a night. the shop has been very busy, and we're very, 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 very grateful for that, but it does not give me a whole lot. I feel bad. I'm at this, how do I manage my time? Because,
Yeah.
what got me into dyeing was this podcast, and the community that the podcast brought to me, and I don't want to let the podcast down because I don't have much progress, but anyway.
Steve's the new Callie of this show.
So this is all I have left. I go till I'm almost done, and then I bring in the new color. So this is on size 5, I believe, which is a 3.75 millimeter needle, and it's lovely to work on. Oh, no yards. No yards. By the way, if you're interested in Sarah's new pattern, it's beautiful. It looks like butterfly wings almost. And it's called Kelebek, which is butterfly in Turkish. It's Kelebek. It's on Ravelry, so you can definitely check it out.
Very cool.
It was very popular at Vogue. We sold almost all of her patterns, so.
She does great work.
She does. Alright, the next thing is the Geology Shawl by Very Busy Monkey. I'm using Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the Fog colorway on size 6 US, which is 4 millimeters. And I finished section 5 and was supposed to go into the last section, and I had 46 grams of yarn left.
Cutting it close.
No, I
Sorry.
had half a ball left of yarn.
I was just kidding. I was testing you.
And I have this much yarn left. And I was only supposed to have 10 more rows to go on the pattern. I was like, so I don't know what's up with this pattern. But she does give, you can repeat this section one more time to use up more yarn. So, and I kind of love this stitch, even though it is, again, it takes a little more time. It's not as bad as the one on the sweater. But here's where I was. Again, I know a lot, right? But I love this, I don't know what she calls it, what type of stitch, stargazing or star stitch or something. So I'm working on the second repeat of that. I may even do a third repeat, but I don't want to cut it too close. And I kind of want to be done with this. But it's not very deep. I mean, that is not a shawl. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'd have to block it out, but...
Are you using the same weight of yarn
Yes,
as in the
it's
pattern?
designed in Madeline Tosh Merino Light. That's why I'm like, really? I don't know, but it's pretty.
It is pretty.
So, that's that. It's going. I also kind of need to get something off the needle, so I'm like, I'm not going to put any more repeats in it. I'll just have a little extra yarn left over. Because I'm not wearing it, so I'll give it to somebody who will enjoy it. The next thing, I've got too many things on the needles, is Mix It Up by Jana Huck. I'm knitting this for a local alpaca farm. I'm using their alpaca that's been milk spun to a fingering weight, and I'm knitting it on a size 3, which is a 3.25 millimeter needle, I think. And I put this on a new needle. These are Hiya Sharps now, which I picked up at Vogue. I picked up a pair of these on Sunday, but I picked up 2 pairs of 1.5s on Saturday, which I'll show you in a minute. So from the middle orange Dicky Doo up is where I am. These rows just take forever. I mean, there's a lot of stitches on here. But keep in mind, it doesn't look that big because it's knit on a size 3. So, it is kind of visually striking.
It is.
So, it's going. I'm in the 4th of 8 repeats before you do something different. So, that's that. And the next thing is my A River Runs Through It socks. These are what I work on at work during my planning period. And I've got one of them done. This is out of Lollipop Yarn's Tradition Base in the A River Runs Through It colorway on size 1.5, 2.5 millimeters. And I have picked up the heel and I'm working on decreasing the gusset right now. So I just did a traditional heel flap. Again, I don't know, I'm not liking my heel flap, my heel turn on this. And even like where the heel flap is. Was it that one? No, it's this side.
Yeah.
It's really thin on this particular side where I picked up, and I'm not trying to flick you off. But I mean, you can see my finger through it. Oh, it did focus. Anyway. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Wear them till they wear out, and then throw them away and wear other socks, right? They're not meant to last forever. But it's sad that I'm already worried about them before I've even worn them. So, anyway, the last thing I'm working on is I cast on a new shop sample out of a sock blank on Sunday, and I'm knitting some shorty stockinette socks, and my plan is to knit one and block it, knit one and leave one unblocked so you can see the differences in the stitches, and then also have a little bit of the sock blank left over so you can kind of get an idea of what the sock blank looked like compared to the sock. So I cast this on Sunday with my new Hiya Sharps 1.5s, and this was in one we called Bend Over Backwards, and I'll show you the sock blank here in a minute, but here's how it's knitting up. It's a shorty cuff, and I'm almost to the point where I need to turn the heel. And here's the sock blank.
Nice.
So, it's fun. So, that's going, and I'll be working on that at the show tomorrow as well. People are so intrigued by watching the sock blanks. And we actually had a couple people buy them at Vogue. One person wanted it as a scarf, so she was going to unravel 2 rows and bind it off. She liked the way it was dyed so much, she was like, I don't want to mess with it. And then another person was going to pick up the stitches on both ends and Kitchener it together as a cowl. So, I mean, you could always do that.
Yeah.
So.
Neat.
That, my friends, sorry, trying to pick up my project bag. Oh, because I was sitting on my foot. I'm a big boy and not good for my ankles. Anyway, that's all that I'm knitting on. Just that. Just those few things. Hence why I don't get much work done on it every 2 weeks. But you got some progress, girl.
I did. So I'm only working on one project. It is for our current Cal, and
Cal is knit along, K-A-L.
Yep, sorry. Sometimes I get called Cal, so I wasn't talking about myself. But let me tell you about the knit along real quick. So it is our sweater knit along, and it is for any adult size sweater. It can be in any base of yarn, it can be any weight of yarn. It just has to be classified in Ravelry as a sweater or a cardigan. It can't be a poncho. It can't be
a vest.
You had to have started it on July 1.
Or after. And the closing date will be October 31, whenever we decide to close that, whether that's that 11:59 our time or 6:30 the next morning. So, as long as it's open, you can still post your finished object pictures.
Yes. And do post your finished object in the finished object thread that we have in our group. You do have to be a member, so make that happen. We have lots of fantastic prizes. Steve is donating a sweaters quantity, and I am donating a sweaters quantity as well. And for every 50 submissions we get, we will add another prize to the prize pool. So I have not currently tallied that up as far as number of prizes because math is goodly. And
right now I think the 2 is where we're at, so I don't think we need to add any yet. But if we do get over 100 entries in the finished object thread, we'll add on another prize.
Yes.
And if you use any base of Leading Men Fiber Arts, you can post your finished object picture twice in the FO thread to get 2 entries in the drawing. And if you wouldn't mind putting it in the chatter thread as well, so people can give you a high five or pat you on the back for doing a great job, just so they can directly, respond to you because they can't do that in the FO thread because it's no chatter.
So, in terms of finished object, you can enter your sweater into the Race to the Finished Object prize thread as well. But even if you do use a base of Leading Men Fiber Arts, you get 2 entries in the sweater Cal. You only get 1 in the Race to the Finished Object thread. So, just to be clear on that. I am working on the Hitafude cardigan. I'm not going to try to pronounce the author's name. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. This This cardigan has been knit 100 and everybody's knit it. So you can find it on Ravelry. I am currently at 7.5 repeats. I'm using a size 4 needle, that's 3.5 millimeter. I'm using Leading Men Fiber Arts Soliloquy base in the Raspberry Parfait colorway. Sorry, I always want to call it Raspberry Fizz. Maybe if I'm like Wendy, you'll just rename it for me.
Or like I said, maybe you can come over and create your own Raspberry Fizz colorway.
That is true. So this is where I'm at. The blue is my lifeline. It's not some new add-on that I did.
It's not a lifeline, it's our provisional cast-on.
Yes. So I got pretty far.
Do you ever do that with a straw where you're like, "Hey," and hit yourself in the side of the face? You gotta show me up with your straw mechanics.
I did get a lot done. I think the last time that we recorded, I was at like 1.5, maybe 2. So I did get a lot of progress done. This is in part because my mom gets car sick, so she always has to drive when we go on vacation. So that doesn't bother me because I get more knitting time. But it does kind of bother me because I do like to drive as well. But Mom, I don't want Mom puking on her own car, so yeah. That's where that story ended, sorry.
Awkward transition. Oh. Anyway.
Sorry. I was going to say, I'm probably not going to get this done in time for the end of our cow, but I do plan on knitting on it until it does get done, so I'm not going to set this project aside. Unfortunately, life happened and some different role changes at work happened, providing me with not as much knitting time as I would like. And also I got started a little bit late because of various reasons. So I'm sorry I've let you down, but
you're still participating. I'm not going to get done either, and I've been knitting mine a lot longer than you.
For November and December, just a heads up, if you would like to purchase yarn or a pattern for that, is a toy knit along. So if you want to just kind of start looking at patterns, maybe you got some Christmas gift knitting on your list, prep yourself if you need to.
I already made the decision this morning. I was thinking about it. I'm not participating in the toy knit along.
It's okay. I've not participated in a lot of the sock knit alongs.
Yeah. So I'm going to set that one out because I just don't want to. So I'm be still working on my sweater. All right. In the rehearsal, I got nothing because all this stuff is just it's taking some time.
I do plan on casting on something else just because I would kind of like a fast knit. I'm probably going to knit my dad another hat, even though I don't really want to because he ran over his first hat with the lawnmower. If you want to see pictures, you can follow me on Instagram at Calsters88.
And go all the way back to like March.
Yep, pretty much.
Bitter. So the behind the scenes, my spinning. I actually did get a decent amount of spinning done this week. I've allotted myself, I get up at a normal time that I've always gotten up for work, but our school year has started 20 minutes later than it has in the past. So I actually take that 20 minutes and I craft in the morning, and it's done wonders for me being awake driving to work, and I engage with the knitting community in the morning, and I'm also listening to audiobooks on the way to work, so I'm intellectually engaged a little bit more. Anyway, it's been really good. So I've been spinning in the mornings. I'm actually almost done. This is the last third of the second 2 ounces. This is Highland Handmaid's Superwash Merino, regular Merino, and silk. It's a 40, 30, 30 maybe.
Is this commission or your personal?
Nope, this is my personal, so this will be up in the shop once it's done. And this is the 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea colorway, and I'm spinning it a little bit thicker. Here's the first 2 ounces on the bobbin. So I'm almost done. I'm hoping to have some finished yarn to show you next week, so that'll be good. So that's that. It's been a pleasure to spin.
Nifty.
If I can get it back on the Lazy Kate without clanking your ears. Alright, so that's all that I'm spinning. I will be picking up some, another commission braid after that. So,
Nice.
in the spotlight, what are we watching and reading?
Mm-hmm.
I've got lots to talk about now. So, I have not watched the season finale of The Strain. I need to find time to catch up and do that. But again, my leading man likes to camp out downstairs in front of the TV when he's home and working and whatnot. He'll sit down and watch TV when in between dye sessions or whatever. And so then I can't really sit down there and watch the DVR. So he actually gave me some, he was like, you can always ask for time. And so I actually watched a show, which I'll talk about in a minute. I didn't watch any Once Upon a Time this week. I haven't had time, but we did catch up on one episode of the Great British Baking Show on PBS. We're one episode behind, and another one comes out tomorrow. But it's always fun to watch it, but also to see Andy's engagement, because if I haven't mentioned it, he did attend pastry school for a year before life happened and got in the way and stuff, and he ended up having to leave school. But he really enjoys baking, and he actually went to the same school where Lisa Fibernan's daughter is attending. He went to Johnson and Wales in South Carolina. So, but he really enjoyed it. It's fun to watch him get engaged. He's like, why would you do it that way? You should know better than that. Then you're just taking the long way around, and no one would put that much work into it. And they did something with phyllo dough.
Phyllo dough.
Huh?
Phyllo dough.
Well, we always pronounce it, both of us, as phyllo, and that's how they pronounced it on the show. But if you don't know, nobody really ever makes phyllo dough, or is it? Yeah, it's phyllo dough by hand because of the
amount of work,
and you just can't get it thin enough. Well, they made them, of course, do it by hand and stuff, so that was interesting.
It's a lot of layers.
Yes.
A lot of butter.
And it's yeah. It's just how thin you have to get it. They say you should be able to read newspaper through it by the time you get it stretched out and everything. So we enjoy that. And I also did watch the season premiere of American Horror Story Hotel. I won't talk much about it because I know Callie even said she DVR'd it and she hasn't seen it yet. But I didn't get to watch it the night it came out, and my coworkers were talking about it. I was like, shut up. So I had to watch it the next night. I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. You don't really get to see a whole lot of Lady Gaga acting yet, so they didn't give her a whole lot of dialogue. We'll see where it goes. She's all right. I'm not a huge fan of her. Somebody is. That's why they're gonna watch it, because somebody doesn't like scary stuff.
I don't.
So I do think that they went all out with this hotel set. It's kind of amazing. So I think that's pretty cool. I know that there was a lot. I did watch some behind-the-scenes stuff for Freak Show last year, and there was a lot that went into that as well. But this is just kind of really, really neat, all that went into it. So I'm sure we'll see a lot more, throughout the season and whatnot. Do you want me to talk about my books, or do you want to talk about TV and then go back to books?
I can talk about TV. Okay, so I have many things that I have DVR'd and caught up on finally. I am a huge fan of all of the NCISs, regular NCIS, NCIS LA, and NCIS New Orleans. So I was really happy. I also watched the season, or the show finale for CSI. I am indifferent about it because I didn't watch it through many seasons. Pretty much after I got into college, I was kind of like, yep, I'm done with this show. Mostly because they were making character changes that I didn't totally agree with. What else? But that was it was nice to have closure, I guess, with that show. But you all know it's coming. I love Empire. I don't have to say this much, especially if you are a fan or have been watching for a while, our podcast. I'm a huge fan. I don't even care. You can judge me all you want. So much so that Cookie, one of the main characters, pretty much the main character, she wears a lot of animal print. While we were at the Lake of the Ozarks, not all that far from where our cabin is, we have a Vanity Fair outlet. And can I just tell you about how deep my love for the show went? I cannot believe I'm about to say this, and it's going to go into internet history, but I tried on a faux fur vest, okay, that was leopard print. I thought, I was like, yes, because one, it was cheap, and I was like, I'm going to wear these on Empire Nights, because me and my cousin are both avid fans, and sometimes we try to outdo each other on, like, dress up for events and that kind of thing, so I was like, oh, I'm going to look like hot shit, sorry. I'm going to look hot stuff.
It's nighttime.
And
sorry, I have a new show title. I gotta write it down.
So anyways, I was like, yeah. And I had pants and, like, a dress and, like, all kinds of other stuff to try on. And, I mean, like, usually, like, when you're in the store, like, if you've got, like, a coat or something and you can just slip it on, you usually do it just in the aisle. At least I do. Okay, but I was like, no. I'm not wearing this vest outside of the house or at my cousin's house, you know? Maybe walking in to the extent of it, but she lives on college, near a college campus, so it's not like it's going to be out of the normal, because she lives, you know, down that way. Anyways, point being, so I get in the dressing room, and it's a zip-up vest, and I'm like, yeah. So I zip it up. First of all, let me tell you.
Sorry, leading man wants to know if we can pause, and we cannot pause because we don't do editing, so no. No.
So anyways, I was in the dressing room, and I had it zipped all the way, and I thought it was going to be, you know,
Andy.
uber good. I know you're probably like, where's this going?
Yeah, I was going to say. Fur vest.
I looked
I'll be right back. I have to give Andy something.
I looked like a stuffed and dead Tigger from Disney. It was awful. And then, you know, like, what's the worst part about that is like the zipper got stuck, and I was like, oh my god, am I gonna have to be that person that they cut out of the, like, fitting room? Because, like, wow, you already look like a hot mess in this fake faux tiger leopard print. It was awful. So I had this mild panic attack. Sorry, it's Central Illinois. It's harvest season, so thank our farmers. But if you have earbuds, sorry about that. So I got the vest off, and then I was like, not buying that. So I saved $15 there. But I really, really have enjoyed Empire this season so far. The music has been pretty good. I haven't found anything that I'm totally in love with. But yeah, so not dying or being cut out of that fake fur vest was probably the highlight of, you know, my trip, because I was really thankful, because that could have gone really bad. You know, I think, like, in general, as, like, a bigger person, you have that stigma that you're going to break something in the fitting room anyways, but to have to, like, be physically taken out of a fake fur vest would have been terrifying. It would have been okay because I didn't know anybody there, but it would have been terrifying because, you know, like, no.
Books. Reading. Intellectual things.
I don't know how that wasn't intellectual. The lesson learned here is always practice the zipper before you try it on.
That's what she said. So books. I finished a book.
Did you?
I'm sorry. By the way, I'm sorry I had to get up. We don't do any editing anymore, and my leading man needed some pertinent information on my part to take care of some bill stuff he's working on or something. I don't know. So it was really cute of him. He just like had his head down there. You probably can't see it because it condenses the video a little bit. But he's like, "Can we pause?" And we're both like, "No,
No.
we don't edit anymore." And I'm not going to because it's going to take enough to get this uploaded before I have to go to bed. Because I should be in bed by now. It's 8 o'clock. Anyway, I finished a book. I finished Double Cross by James Patterson. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. I know James Patterson is not, high literature, but I enjoyed the story. It was about, it's an Alex Cross novel, which is part of his Alex Cross series. And it was about basically two different serial killers at the same time. There was one that he was dealing with in Washington, D.C., which dealt with like acting. It was an actor taking on different roles of these killers and stuff. It was interesting. But then there was a previous killer that he put away that got out of prison, and so it was kind of this dealing with two at one time issue. So I enjoyed that. I did. So what am I listening to? And I finished another book. I finished Body of Evidence by Patricia Cornwell. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that it's the same narrator that I listened to Cause of Death a couple weeks ago that I finished. So I enjoy it, and I think she does all of the novels. So we'll see. I think I've got a couple more of her books in my bookshelf, so we'll see. But that one was better than Cause of Death, I think. There was a little bit more. I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. There was a little bit more action and things, so enjoyed that a little bit more. So, yeah. I'm still listening to The Good, the Bad, and the Undead by Kim Harrison. It's there. I'm not totally entranced in the story. Again, I know that it's a very popular series, but, I'm also reading The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman at work. It's alright, I'll finish it. I'm almost done with it, I think. Pretty close. But I'm just kind of like, it's not keeping my attention. Why would it keep a young adult's attention? Anyway, so, yeah, we'll see if my attitude changes on that. And I started listening to Forever Odd by Dean Koontz. I had read the first book in this series called Odd Thomas, and I've actually watched the movie. They did make a movie out of it. This is the second, and it's about a man named Odd Thomas, that's his name, and he can see dead people and kind of communicate with them when they want justice. So he cannot actually talk to them, but he can also see evil entities and things like that also follow people when bad things are going to happen. I enjoyed the first book. I've read other Dean Koontz books. I've talked about them on here. He has fun and humor in his writing in this particular series, so I enjoy that quite a bit. But I'm not that far into it. I'm maybe an hour or two into this particular novel, so I'll let you know as I continue on. So that's that.
I haven't been actively reading. While we were on vacation, there was actually a local library that had a book sale, and I got about 25 new books. Most of them are young adult. So
I thought you were working on minimizing.
Well, I am, sort of. So my clutches books, but I've decided a lot of these are books that I'm going to donate to
my classroom library?
I can. Yeah.
I need to build mine up. I used to have a huge classroom library, and then when we were moving schools, I got rid of them all. But now I'm like, hey, I need to build it back up.
Well, and I got a lot of classic literature, too. So, yeah, I don't mind doing that, because I was just going to donate them to our library in town, and I don't totally like my librarian, so... So I'm not actively reading, but I did kind of want to share some things that I'm listening to music-wise, because some people find that interesting and some people don't, so I'm sorry if you don't.
You can skip ahead.
Yeah. Some of the things that I'm listening to are a lot of the new Macklemore and Ryan Lewis songs. Downtown, I cannot stress this enough. I love that song. Macklemore and Ryan Lewis also partner with Ed Sheeran on Sloan's song, Growing Up, and I love that song as well. I should also say that I am a huge Macklemore and Ryan Lewis fan anyways, but those two songs are exemplary works that I feel that have shown progress from where they were in their first album. There is a new artist out, and I can't remember her name, but I believe she's British, and the song's called I'll Be Over Here, and I think it's a really refreshing song because it's about this girl that's at this party, and she doesn't want to be there. There's a lot of drugs going on, drinking, hazing, and that kind of thing. So for it to get mainstream, or played mainstream, I think is really great for kids. I mean, I think it's a great lesson that you can be your own individual. So I have a lot of respect for that artist. And that's just some of the things that I'm listening to. Other stuff isn't appropriate to talk about on the air because there's a lot of swear words. So, and actually the censored version is called something. The unedited version is called something else. So, but it's by Chris Brown. You can probably figure that out. Chris Brown and Tyga and someone else. I can't remember who's on the track, but maybe Kid Ink. But so,
if it's going right over your head, you're in the same boat with me.
So. Don't worry. Yeah.
If you like to channel your inner rapper, you probably understand everything she just said.
But at this library sale, I also got 2 vinyls. One is Miles Davis, and the other one was Odetta. So my interests range extremely far. Like, here's one extreme, here's the other. So
almost looked like you were going to backhand me.
And yes, I'm really that white.
I was in the car this afternoon, I was like, I am pasty. Oh. So. Anyway, so...
Stash enhancement?
I do have some. Sorry. I'm almost done turning a heel. I got one more row back and I'm done turning the heel on these. Stash enhancement. I showed you that. I gotta take pictures of it still, but I showed you my Three Waters Farm Top of the Month Club 2 weeks ago. I still have to picture it. And I put it in my stash though, but I gotta put pictures. I did get the needles. The 3 sets of needles at Vogue Knitting Live. I also got a print. I got a print from Knit Ba Pearl, and you can see another print back there that I got before. About a year and a half ago, maybe, at a small show that we did. And she has been hitting the festival scene just like we have, and she was about 2 booths down from us at Stitches, and she was exactly 2 booths down from us at Vogue. So there was one print I knew I wanted to get, and I actually got that for Callie, and she'll show you just in a second. But I got another print. I wanted to get her Romeo and Juliet print, but she didn't have it in the nice matted picture. She had it in note cards and stuff. And she said, I can always... She was even offering to make a completely new one for me. And I know she's busy and whatnot. So Andy actually really thought this one was cute, so I need to find a way to hang it up. But this is called Sheepwreck. And this is all her own original, and it's done on, very high quality stock print and ink. And you can find her at knitba, B-A-A-H, pearl.com. And, I just thought it was really cute. She has another one, 3 Sheeps to the Wind, that I might get eventually. She's just very, very punny with her her drawings, and they're all original. She creates them all. But I've seen this one that I got Callie, and I was like, I kind of have to get it for her. So I got it inadvertently as a birthday gift for her as well, because her birthday's next week.
It is. It is Wednesday, to be specific, the 14th.
Don't worry, it's not her golden birthday. She's not turning 14.
My golden birthday kind of was okay. It wasn't bad.
Mine was nothing. I was like, oh, great. Anyway.
But yes, and I thank Steve very much for it. It is Lady Baba.
Oh, sorry, neighbor just got home and barking, so earbuds. Shush.
I love this, and I told Steve I was going to frame it and put it in my office.
Instead of a dress of meat, it's a dress of yarn.
It is. I also get another picture to frame and put in my office, and most specifically put it on my desk.
She's really going to take it too. I was totally joking.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm totally serious. So, I already have a picture of Steve and I on my desk from Zombie Net Apocalypse. It was the photo booth strip. And,
Mine's back there.
Yep. And Steve did not think I was going to be serious on this. I'm pretty sure. But Steve was saying that they, get their faculty staff pictures done every year, and they get their free package.
Yep. Even if I tell them no, I don't want the pictures. I still get free school pictures in my mailbox. Mm-hmm. So.
And I get the 5x7 one that I'm going to put in a frame, and I'm going to put it on my desk. I'm going to look at it gazingly every day. I'm going to put it by my phone more specifically.
People are going to start thinking of me like, it's my knitting husband. I had to get a...
I don't know, pretty much.
I give the package to my mom every year, and she's like, what am I going to do with all these? I'll take one of them. But I'm like, I don't need them. I'm not going to hang it. I mean, do you hang a picture of yourself up in your house? That seems kind of weird. Like, when it's just you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, when it's different when you have a family, maybe. Yeah. But when it's just us. We have pictures of us, like, on vacation. But, like, a formal picture? That seems a little odd.
Don't worry. Your knitting wife will take care of that.
It's a really good picture, though, I have to say.
It is.
For being like, they made you stand at an angle, which they had a new, different company, and they were, usually you have to sit on like the cube, you know, and they were like, no, you had to put your feet on the feet and you were standing, and you had to stand at an angle, and they're like, and clip, and I was like, but it came out really good, so it's real natural.
I just wanted you guys to be jealous. I will be taking a photo of it on my desk to prove it to you. So look for that on Instagram because it's happening, and this one thinks that I'm joking about it, but I'm not, because, I want you all to know that me and my knitting husband were legit, except for he doesn't have a picture of me on his desk. Don't worry. It won't ever happen.
Anyway. I'm just going to keep rolling forward. Let's move into a round of applause. We already talked about our sweater knit along, so let's move right into our Race to the Finished Object contest. Since we last saw each other, September has ended and October has started, so we pulled winners for our September Race to the Finished Object contest. The first prize is an awesome front range bag, and it's got yarn guides on the inside, pockets galore, all this wonderful stuff, plus a stitch marker and a business card. And so, if you win, please contact me, Dramatic Knits, on Ravelry, and let me know your first and last name and mailing address, and I will get this out to you as soon as possible. The winner, again, we pre-draw our prizes now just to save on time and confusion.
We are 100% honest. No worries there.
The prize winner was number 201, who is Carrie on Ravelry, and she is Carrie, K-E-R-I, from Orlando, Florida, and she did a Wild Goose Shawlette out of Bleeding Men Fiber Arts Showstopper in the Midsummer colorway. So, love that it was not only our yarn, but it was also a pattern designed out of our yarn, so love that a lot. So congratulations, Carrie. Please get in contact with me through Ravelry, and I'll get this out to you as soon as I can.
And it was in the yarn color that
she created. So, the second prize is a pattern from our featured designer. Sarah Berghart Abram was our featured designer for the last 6 months. Her last month was September. So, the pattern winner was number 117, who is Rob Fish, and that is Robin from Springfield, Missouri, and she knit a botanical cowl. So congratulations, Robin. Would you please take a look at Sarah Bear Crafts is her designer Ravelry name. Anything that's giftable through Ravelry, she will very graciously give to you. So just let me know. Email me, Dramatic Knits, on Ravelry with what pattern you would like, and I will let her know, and she'll gift it to you. So that being said, we are firmly into the month of October, so we need to announce our October prizes. The first prize is...
We have Knit Picks Felici in the Jingle colorway. You not only get one, but you get, sorry, I wanted to make sure the type was up front, 2.
So this is enough to make a pair of socks, and we figured, we know it's Halloween this month, but by the time the winner gets it, it'll be in November, and you would then have a month and a half, 2 months to knit some Christmas socks if you wanted to do so.
Yes.
So, anything you finish in the month of October, no matter what it's been, when it's been started, you can post a picture into the October Race to the Finished Object contest, and you must be a member of the group. That's the only qualification, and it has to be finished this month. And that'll get you entered for the yarn. The second prize is from our new featured designer, and that is Megan Sanders. And I knit the Felicity cowl out of the Barocco Folio, the blue one, recently. That was by her. So she has graciously signed up for the next 6 months, and we couldn't be happier. Not only because she's awesome, but she's also coming out with 2 new designs out of Leading Men Fiber Arts. So I'm super excited. And one's a sweater.
What?
Now she's like, oh, don't say that. What if I back out? What if it doesn't work out? I'm holding her to it because I've wanted a sweater design out of our yarn for forever. So
We watching you, girlfriend.
I'm super excited about that. So in fact, we just got her yarn dyed up today, and we'll be going out to her soon. So
She does great work. You should check out her patterns.
she has lovely boomerang shape with some lace that we showed before, and she also designed some socks out of our Showstopper base. And I showed those on the podcast. And I think she's had a couple more designs come out since then. So. And she takes wonderful photography because she's a photographer in real life. So, in real life, IRL. I catch up on my kids' lingo. So that's the October Race to the Finished Object contest. I do want to remind somebody, a previous winner of the Breathless Kush Shalimar yarns. I have not been contacted by Belladonna37 on Ravelry. That's Donna from Mountain View, California. You won the Breathless Kush from Shalimar Yarns. If you would please get in contact with me, Dramatic Knits, on Ravelry with your first and last name and mailing address. You do have until the end of this month before I will redraw a winner. So you have till the end of October, and that's probably the last time I put it out there. So please get in contact with me so I can get your yarn your way. Alright, moving into center stage, all things Leading Men Fiber Arts. I do not have anything to show you because everything is in the trailer ready to go for tomorrow morning. So we've been updating the shop here and there. We have been working on several large wholesale orders. One got finished this week and is headed all the way to Denmark. So I'm excited to talk about a new internet yarn shop that will be opening very soon in Denmark. So if you're looking for awesome indie dyed yarns and you're in the Denmarkish area and you want to, not pay outrageous shipping, there is somebody out there that is going to be now getting wholesale, wholesale orders from different companies throughout the world, and will then have it a little bit locally for people in that area. So I'm excited for that. The second one is we're filling another wholesale order. We're kind of working on that, but also trying to keep stock for these shows, and it's just a little bit crazy, plus a couple of clubs we've signed up for, and it's a lot. It's a lot. But it's good.
Doing a lot.
We'll be doing the most, as my kids would say. It's getting really hot up in here. That breeze is just not coming through.
Sorry if I'm glistening.
I'm getting there a little bit.
Shouldn't be new.
So I do want to remind you of our shows. Tomorrow we will be at, not that you'll probably see this, tomorrow we will be at Stash Market in Yorkville, Illinois. And then next weekend on Saturday, we will be at the Bishop Hills Fiber Guild Annual Spin-In, which is in Mossville, Illinois. It's right outside of Peoria. That runs, I believe, from 8:30 to 3:30. And I think it's $2 to get in, if I'm correct. $5 to participate in the spinning activities and things. It's not bad. So, and then the following Saturday and Sunday, we will be all the way up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, for the Fall Fiber Expo. So we're super excited about that. It's going to be interesting driving up after work on Friday, 6+ hours up there, getting a hotel, getting up in the wee butt crack of dawn to set up very quickly and do that show. But I'm actually taking a day off on Monday. We will be driving all the way back home on Sunday, but I can at least catch up a little bit on that Monday. So, we've been doing a lot of local things within a couple of hours, but we said when we said we were going to go big or go home, we needed to travel a little bit more. So we're really excited to be up there. I know a couple of you have contacted me and said, you're going to be up in my neck of the woods. I can't wait to see you. So I'll be there with bells on. So that's that. And that ends our show season for this year. We will not be picking up with anything again until potentially the end of February. I'm hoping to be back with the Knitting Pipeline Retreat, which it's a couple weeks earlier than normal this year due to, booking the retreat space, but hopefully Callie will be with me.
We'll have to see. Like I said, we're going through a lot of changes at work, and some are for the good, some are
That's when you
for
go,
the better.
I'm sick this day. So.
Two things. So, exciting news, because I have worked for my job for 3 years. I have now started accruing more vacation time, which is great if you can use it. Yeah. So, I'm kind of at the point where at the end of my leadership class that I will basically be out 3 full weeks plus, because I didn't take into consideration that I was bumped up in vacation time now. So there's probably going to be some long vacations in there, one of which is going to be SSK for me, because I took up the whole week. So I was like, that Friday before, I was like, chucking up the deuces. I'm off Saturday and Sunday, Monday through, Friday. And then I'm also have Saturday and Sunday off too. And I'm not starting work until about half a day after the retreat is over. So I'm cashing in. And I already told everybody, I was like, you either going to stand behind us or you're going to hear me talk about knitting stories forever.
She had some cute emails. She forwarded it to me through her work email. So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much about it for this week. If you have any questions, you can contact me as Dramatic Knits on Ravelry. I am Leading Men Fiber Arts on Instagram. Those are the best 2 places to find me. Please follow the shop on Instagram as Leading Men Fiber Arts, and on Ravelry and Facebook as Leading Men Fiber Arts. Please join our Ravelry group for Dramatic Knits. It's Dramatic Knits, one word, no space, video podcast group on Ravelry. We'd love if you'd come join us and participate in the conversation that we're having going on over there. And you are?
I'm Calsters on Ravelry and Twitter, and Calsters88 on Instagram. I will be up in the Chicago area on Wednesday for my birthday. It's tentative that I will be going to Shed Aquarium in the morning and going to Schaumburg in the afternoon to go to IKEA. So,
if you're in the Shed Aquarium, there, what was Loopy, I guess, is right over there, and there's a new owner and a new name to the shop. I've heard good things about it, so it's kind of right over there.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's by the museums.
Yeah.
So, Polk Street, I think, is what it's
called.
Oh,
yeah.
So, anyway, so until next week, we'll see you next Sunday. Mm-hmm. So, I will have been to 2 shows since then. I didn't think about that. I'll see you next Sunday, and I'll tell you about the last 2 shows we've done in 7 days. So, until then,
we hope you
knit something dramatic.